Anyway, I just went to throw a few things over there, but it got stuck in some leaf litter and twigs piled up somewhere, and I was like, whoops, I should have thrown it over there where the skinnier trees are and less rubble at the bottom of them. But anyway, I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm on my break. I've been working all day, and then, suddenly I find myself being kicked off, and I'm like, oh, that's usually like a telltale sign that I am to take a break. So I came out here. There are pigeons around, so I'm hoping that they're going to be able to find that food that was sprinkled on the ground. It would help if it was over there, because there's less rubble and everything, but it's not a big deal. I mean, I'm just experimenting with feeding the local birds. Is that a bird over there? No, I don't think so. But there are pigeons, and pigeons have a way of finding the smallest of objects. But they may find it, they may not. What we really need to do is put up a bird feeding tray. But I couldn't find like a low enough branch to put the feeding tray on. But this one looks okay. I didn't walk over here, I walked over there, and I was like, most of the trees are like way too high for me to reach. I could need a ladder to set up the feeding tray, but this, I don't know, the branches are thick. It's not really a thick, it's just to go in a skinny branch, so no, I'm not really happy with these branches, and the twigs look like they'll break if birds land on them, so I'll just let the other person find a branch to put a feeding tray on. But we just do that just to encourage the native birds to find something to eat. You can get like a wide variety of birds. Yes, this is the bush country, so we just recently moved here yesterday officially. After spending one night in a cabin that we can't stand, because it seems like a cabin that used to be haunted or something. Like literally in the middle of the night you hear so much activity. It's like things are scampering around on the roof, like a really hyper possum or something, but you don't know if it's a possum making noise or what, but it's very noisy, and it's like it feels like they're a little possums running inside the walls and over the roof and everything, and I'm like, I was just laying there freaked out because it has like negative energy. It's smelly, it was dirty, and it had all these weird decorations of skulls and other things, and you're like going, I'm terrified of this place. But I do remember that we stayed there ages ago, but I forgot. And then as soon as I walked in, I started to remember that we stayed there before because of all the skulls and things. And I'm like, yeah, we've stayed here before. And it's really kind of freaky. So it's really kind of scary. So, but I lived through it. I was shivering in my bed. I was cold sweating. When you're like scared and you're sweating, and I was like, I didn't get anything but like maybe an hour's worth of sleep during the whole night. I was just like shivering and sweating, scared, and I was like, it's really freaky. I mean, there's no ghosts, but it's freaking me out to be there, So we still haven't explored this very much. Apparently we're waiting for the grass to be cut once again. But I don't know, you can start working on the grass. I mean, all you need to do is cut it with some cutting scissors, not scissors, but the garden ones, and then mow it. You don't have to wait for a slasher. I mean, it helps if you wait, but you don't have to. I've owned some property before, and it was like, you don't have to wait for a slasher. It just takes a long time to do a little bit of grass, but you can do it. This house looks like it's being settled in now. I'll probably do a house tour when the other person's like getting lunch. Oh, is that a car for us? No. But yeah, it is a little country place, and it looks settled, but cyclones come from this direction and they sweep over sometimes, and I'm like, I don't really want to be here with this negative person who doesn't really think highly of me anyways. I sort of want to just take my bags and run, but I didn't get to apply for this real estate that I applied for before, and they might have been the one that let me in. I'm a bit picky and choosy, but I was going to apply today, and literally like in the last 24 hours, like it was taken off, and I was like, it was like last 48 hours, because I wrote them yesterday, can I still apply for this property? And they said, it's been rented, so I missed out. But there's this other one that's sort of on the books that I applied for, but I'm sure I'm not going to get it because I haven't seen the property, which is a shame, because I did send in my application, and I was like, if I did get it there, I'd be like moving, and then hopefully it'll be working out. I want to do like 10-hour shifts a day. I want to do my eBay. I want to do my business, and continue on, hopefully without anyone around, and go to a concert once in a while on a Sunday, maybe. Brisbane is pretty pathetic with concerts, because it's like everything's so far away and you don't know how to get there really, and you're like, I couldn't be bothered, whereas Melbourne, it's like concert halls are really close and you're like going, let's go, sort of thing. But concerts aren't really the thing to go to. I just thought I might go to one. Sometimes I just tell myself to go to one, and sometimes they're a bit wild and everything, but I still go every now and again. There isn't really anyone in particular who I'd want to see. I might want to see, like, I don't know, I can't even really think of who I'd want to see. Yeah, because a lot of singers, I don't know. Oh, that's my alarm. It means that I should go back to work. Doesn't really matter. They kicked me off, so I said, screw it, I'm going to take a long break, and that alarm was set for 15 minutes. But I hate this phone because it has really weird alarms, and you're like going, I hate this phone. But I don't really need to be back for 10 more minutes. It doesn't really matter. They just tell you to go for a break. I've been taking breaks frequently today. I've been like hopping up and down, doing this and that. But they kicked me off, and I'm like, oh, so you want me to go on a break, do you? That's why I'm walking around outside. But yeah, I'm not really planning on staying here. I don't really want to, because I want to work all day, and I don't want to be disturbed by a storm or a cyclone, or so I'm better off breaking off and spending a bit of money for a rental, and if the job extends, I can then move into a house and start paying off a house, doing those pretty long shifts, and continue on without anyone. That would be a great dream. I've had this job before, and it's like, I I don't know. I just like to I like to have it. It's a good job for me. You can do it all the time. Do it at home. You get paid breaks. Everything's paid for, and um, it's a really good job actually. I want to keep it if I can. I wouldn't. I would like to work it long time. Um, so hopefully I got chosen to work. I don't know. That's why I want to do full-time shifts. So if I get this other apartment, I'll just move in and settle down and pick up all my belongings that I didn't want to bring here, and you start again, I guess, the single life. And the best thing about it is that if I get this particular apartment, you get a free pizza. So while you're feeling miserable and blue about renting again, you get a free pizza and you're like going, oh, pizza. It's a good incentive to rent, because not many real estates do that. Like, you get a free pizza and with garlic bread and a drink, and you're like going, oh, I'm so miserable, and then you're like, oh, that's awesome. This grass is the discouragement of me taking a longer walk, because it's just everywhere, and my pants are probably getting dirty. My shoes are probably getting dirty, but it's nice grass and everything, but it's just too long. It needs to continuously be hacked. I would guess once a week you have to mow and stuff, so just to make sure you don't have to slash it all the time. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I better get back to work, I guess. So far though, there hasn't been any cyclones. There's been wandering rain today, but no cyclones. But that doesn't mean this place doesn't get them, and doesn't mean they don't get floods or anything either, but it's actually the cyclones that are the most destructive things out of everything. I mean, we've got to have a dam built, so if volcano erupts and lava comes, it'll be stopped by the dam, and those cyclones can turn this into matchwood or whatever, matchsticks, and you're like going, oh, don't like it here. I'm trying to work, but I'll just see how it goes with all those applications. A lot of real estates won't let you apply for a unit without seeing it, but some do. So anyway, better get back to work. It's been a bit of a break. How many hours? I've got to cut 4 more hours to go roundabout, so